Hi, I'm Jared the Wyrd-Worker. I practice theistic witchcraft in a Norse context, and in this video, I want to talk about white supremacy and racism in Northern European traditions. To be clear, I don't believe that the Northern European traditions of witchcraft and heathenry are inherently racist or white supremacist. My own approach to these traditions is to be radically inclusive. However, that does not change the fact that racists and white supremacists have glommed onto these traditions. That's something that needs to be addressed head on, and this video is my attempt to do so. Almost 2 weeks ago, this conversation came up on Twitter. Someone else who honored the Norse gods was complaining that Black, Indigenous, and people of color, BIPOC, seem to be lumping them in with Nazis and others who abuse our traditions for racist purposes. They felt that being lumped in like that was unfair. I spoke up and asked them how any random person meeting them, or me for that matter, would know that we are a couple of the good ones rather than Nazis. I suggested that being wary of us until we demonstrate that we are one of the good ones is a reasonable self-preservation tactic. Again, this video is part of my attempt to demonstrate that I am one of those good ones, or at least that I am on my way to becoming one of them. Given my own reading of the lore and history, as well as my own encounters with the gods, I am convinced that all are welcome to my tradition regardless of race, or gender or sexual orientation for that matter. In fact, I'm fond of saying, the gods will call who they call. Yes, I believe that the gods often call people to them. That may make for another video. I'm going to take a moment to comment on a recent protest against this idea that I've seen lately. Some have cried foul that many traditions that originated with BIPOC are largely closed to white people and want to know why we shouldn't keep them out of our traditions in return. Well, for starters, that is a completely ahistorical analysis of these matters. Northern European traditions have always been open to all. Northern European cultures have a long history of valuing hospitality and welcoming the stranger, even the stranger from foreign lands. Why would the gods of those cultures be any less welcoming? The argument also completely ignores the harm that white people have done to BIPOC and their cultures and traditions, and our desire to continue to oppress and exploit them for our own purposes. There's a good reason they want to keep us out. Our historical disrespect, not to mention our present disrespect, is massive. Northern European cultures and traditions have never faced that kind of harm, oppression, or exploitation. At least not from BIPOC. So we have plenty of reasons to be more welcoming. To be honest, not being welcoming for this sort of tit-for-tat reasoning strikes me as petty and not in alignment with the values of my tradition. In the long run, I believe my tradition is enhanced by being radically inclusive and welcoming of all who feel a call from my gods. And to be frank, I would not question the gods about who they choose to call. All hail the gods.